This is a lecture from OpenTuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
Continuing with chapter 24, let's have a look at VAT group registration. Now, where you've got several companies, we'll talk about companies first of all. So you've got several companies in a group and each are registered for VAT. To cut down on the admin, potentially, you could, as long as conditions are satisfied, register all of those companies as a single entity for VAT. So if you've got 10 companies in the group, for example, you could have a VAT group registration that covers all 10. And instead of doing VAT returns every quarter and having to do 10 of them, you do one. Yeah. Now, VAT group registration is very flexible as well as being optional. So if you do have 10 companies in a group, you might decide that you want to leave 4 of them out of the group. So therefore, you've got a VAT registration group covering 6 of those companies, and you leave the other 4 to do their own thing. Yeah. So let's have a look at the conditions, the implications of being in a VAT group, and some of the advantages and the disadvantages as well. So where we've got a VAT group registration, the conditions are that we're looking at companies, so 2 or more companies can register as a VAT group as long as they are under common control, which may mean associated companies, because remember, associated companies, we've got the control in there, and they have to have a permanent establishment in the UK. Now, they don't have to be UK resident, so if you've got a company in the group that's overseas resident, as long as they've got a branch in the UK, which is, the main example of a permanent establishment, then that branch can participate. That's fine. So we're looking at control and we're looking at a permanent establishment in the UK. Now, like I say, we generally talk about companies. However, a few years ago, they made a slight change to the rules and they said, look, if you're a sole trader or a partnership, as long as you're the one doing the controlling, we can actually include the sole trader or the partnership as part of a group registration for VAT. So let's say that you've got a sole trader and they own 90% of company A and 90% of company B. Yeah, we can register company A and B and the sole trader in the same group. As long as the sole trader is the one doing the controlling, that's absolutely fine. And as long as we fulfil the other conditions, of course, that we've got a permanent establishment in the UK. Now, the implications of a VAT group registration, well, the main one is that once a VAT group registration is in force, the group is treated as a single entity for VAT. So to go back to my previous example, if you've got 6 companies in the group, then you treat all 6 companies as though they were a single business. So instead of doing 6 VAT returns every quarter, you just do the one. Yeah. There are other implications as well, and we'll get onto that in a very short while. But that's the main one. We're treated as a single entity for the purposes of VAT. So what happens is that the group appoints what's known as a representative member. And the representative member is going to be responsible for accounting for VAT for the group as a whole, submitting the return and paying over the VAT for the group as a whole. Yeah. So completing and submitting a single VAT return every quarter and paying the VAT on behalf of the group. So all the admin falls on the representative member effectively. Now, the group is jointly and severally liable for any VAT liabilities. Now, what that means is if the representative member doesn't pay the VAT that's owed, HMRC can come after any or all of the companies in the group to collect the VAT, not just the representative member. So that's what we mean by joint and several liabilities. So we might absolve ourselves of the admin and pass it on to the representative member, but we don't necessarily absolve ourselves of the liability because HMRC could come knocking. Now, looking at advantages and disadvantages of a VAT group registration. So one of the big advantages is cash flow. Yeah. So no VAT is accounted for on transactions between group members. So instead of one group member accounting for the output VAT on a sale to another group member and that other group member having to recover the input VAT, because we're treating the group as though it were a single entity, you don't charge VAT if you sell something to yourself in a group context, if you like. So massive cash flow advantage. There's an administrative advantage, obviously, because instead of submitting one VAT return every quarter for each company in the group, 6 returns, you're only submitting one. So that means there's an administrative advantage, and it also means that we're less likely to be slapped with lots of penalties. It's easier to submit one VAT return on time than it is 6. And as we've said, we can choose which companies to include or exclude. Now, if you're a company in the group making 0 rated supplies, then remember that if you're making 0 rated supplies, your output VAT is 0, but you can recover your input VAT. Yeah, so that every time you do a VAT return, you're going to get a refund of VAT, and the chances are you're going to elect to do your returns monthly. Now, if we include a company making 0 rated supplies in the group, it is very unlikely that the group as a whole will be in a repayment situation. We will lose the advantage for that company of those monthly repayments. So therefore, it's going to have a detrimental effect on cash flow for that company. So you might be better off leaving that company to do its own thing, and they can carry on doing monthly returns and enjoying those monthly repayments. Now, the disadvantages of a VAT group registration, say the limits for the cash and annual accounting will apply to the group as a whole, not on an individual company basis, because remember, we're treating the group as though it were a single entity. The joint and several liability that we've already mentioned is obviously a disadvantage there, because HMRC are going to collect the tax off somebody, and basically they don't care who. Yeah. The other possible disadvantage is we could have administrative issues. So if you're responsible for your own VAT return and you're sat there in the accounts department and all the information that you need is at your fingertips, then that's one thing. But if you're trying to collect that information from companies that are all over the country, yeah, some are in the north of Scotland, some are in the south of England, and you're phoning them up and trying to get them to send you their information so you can do the VAT return. That might be quite time consuming, and it might actually create problems if the other companies in the group are a little bit late sending their information through, and you're there, wanting to get this tax return done, and people are basically not playing ball. So that could be a bit of a problem. Well, that's our VAT group registration. I say completely optional, very flexible, and there are advantages and disadvantages to a VAT group registration.